Hey guys, JDS here. This is my eMachine T4010. It is a 2004 model with some light scratches. It's a good old used micro ATX tower. Very sleek, very durable. Now, we're not really interested in what the outside of this PC looks like because it's obviously a piece of crap, right? Well, let's pop open the side panel and see what we got inside. Alright, I gotta tell you, the side panel on this thing is extremely hard to remove. Rather inconveniently enough. All you got here to remove that thing is just this little indent here. Barely enough to put purchase on, you know? And it doesn't slide out very well either. But, all that aside, we got it open. And this here is what we got inside. We got obviously an AMD processor. To be exact, it's an R5 1600 with 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance LPXs running at 3200 megahertz. This here is an EVGA 600B. Really cheap power supply, but it gets the job done. I picked this up for like 30 bucks. On sale, so you can't really beat that. It's a non-modular power supply. Tried my best with cable managing, but I shoved all of the power supply cables into that little drive cage. Speaking of drives, we got a not really sure if you guys can see that there. It's a Team Group 240 gigabyte SSD. Paired with a 2 terabyte 5400 RPM Western Digital Green. And this is on, let's try and take a look at the motherboard. This is an MSI B350M Pro-VH Plus with some generic TP-Link Wi-Fi card. I'm not really sure what model this is. This might be the N900. Let's see, the GPU. This is a GTX 1070 ITX from Gigabyte. I didn't want to put too big of a GPU in here because, you know, look at those cables. That might interfere with a GPU longer than this card. So, and plus I had this one kind of lying around, but it fits in there pretty well. We got ourselves a single 8-pin for power, and overall it is a pretty sleepery, I don't know if that's even a word, a pretty sleeper PC going on in this eMachine T4010. Now this is the 2004 model, and if it's a standard ATX, or no, not ATX, it's a standard micro ATX board in there with little issues. One of my favorite features about this case is this here. What used to be the bottom USB hub has been turned into a intake for the front of the case. Very nice. It's got a slide open door. Very rigid, but it works pretty well. This machine has got all the original stickers on it, you know, Windows XP, some are on D, a bunch of advertisement. It's got a USB, if it can focus, a USB there. I'm not sure if these card readers on the side work. It's got an optical drive, but currently that optical drive is not connected to anything because it is an IDE optical drive. I'd need a IDE to SATA cable if those exist. Overall, it's a pretty nice looking, in my opinion, it's a very sleek tower PC. I like this old style design, old school design. Alright, so here's my little setup. I'm going to boot this computer on just to see that it is 100% fully functional. The front I/O is all connected to the motherboard. There was no incompatibility issues, so everything plugged into the motherboard pretty much like a standard case would. Now, I'm not going to run any benchmarks because you can find plenty of 1600 and 1070 combos on YouTube, and this is really pretty much your standard setup, minus the fact that it's stuffed inside of an eMachine. One of the questions that I get asked a lot about this particular build is how well are the thermals? Now, I've been running Unigine Valley for about 20 minutes. The GPU is overclocked and so is the memory. The CPU is at 3.8 gigahertz, I believe, overclocked as well. So here I got the MSI Afterburner overlay up, and you can see that it's hovering around 70 to 68, 69C on the GPU, and the CPU is staying at a relatively cool 54 degrees Celsius. Now, this benchmark doesn't really stress the CPU at all, but honestly, Ryzen itself, especially the R5 1600, runs cool enough that you really shouldn't be worrying about CPU temps with this particular CPU. Obviously, this eMachine T4010 was not intended to run this type of hardware. I did make some modifications, again, like this 120mm intake in the front to try and alleviate some of the thermal issues. But it does have a perforated side panel, so there is some sort of airflow going into there. But it also only has a 92mm exhaust in the rear. But overall, the temps, I mean, it's going at a good 120 FPS, and the temps have stayed below 70C. Another thing to consider is that the GPU that's in this box, in this tower, is an ITX GPU. It's an ITX 1070. It's only got 3 fans, or no, it's only got 3 heat pipes and a single fan. So the thermals on that aren't going to be the best versus, say, like a 3-fan card. But regardless, it's still keeping within spec. It's still keeping relatively cool. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video of my project PC, this eMachine T4010 2004, my sleeper PC. If you guys like the content, subscribe, I guess. Like and subscribe so I can make some more of these videos. But until then, I'll see you guys later.